All right, so the big question is, what happened with Dawn
And who?
and you?
I don't know what happened, really.
Well, tell us about the last.
The last time he came up there, Debbie was there cleaning. He come up, friendly, 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 said something about there was a lot of frustration, but I didn't get, he didn't explain that. Anyway, Debbie she's a Church of God person, and Don is atheist. And I told her that, and she shouldn't have brought up religion, but she did. And so she said something about God, and Don said, "Does God talk to you?" And I don't remember what she said. Anyway, he said, "Does he call your cell phone, or how does he talk to you?" So she must have said, "Yeah, he talks to me." So anyway, she said, "You better watch it, how you talk, because you're going to meet him one day." And then Don cussed. He said a real bad word.
Like GD.
Yeah, like
Okay.
GD.
All right.
So he got up, and I was laughing because it was funny, but I didn't say a word to him then. So he got up to go out and smoke, and he came back in. Debbie left. Everything was civil. When she left, she said, "Have a good day, Faye. You too, Don." And he said, "Okay." So after she left. We were talking. He got some milk, and so I just casually said, "How long do you think you and Debbie would get along?" And he said, "Why do you ask esoterical questions? That is communication rudeness." And I said, "Are you the communication police?"
Yeah.
And then that made him even madder. And I don't. Anyway, I said, "I can say what I want to say." He said, "Why do you ask those questions?" And I said, "Because I want to. I can do what I want to do. You can do what you want to do." He said something like, "Well, but I won't do it here." Got up, put his milk in the refrigerator, a half glass of milk. So that made me think he was coming back. Never did come back anymore. So then I saw him out in the lobby. He was being friendly. So I asked another esoterical question. I said, "Are you over your little mad spell?" And he said, "Are you and Debbie over your craziness? You two are nuts." Yes, I mean nuts. And he got up and he turned around. He had a cigarette in his hand, and he turned around and he said, "And that's from an amateur's perspective." So I didn't say it. I didn't know what to say. So he went, and as he went around the door, out the door, he turned around and he said, "Yes, nuts." So that's how that went.
And then the wave the last time you saw him?
The last time I saw him, I waved at him, and he acted like he was going to wave, but then what do you call that when he?
Well, we can see it,
Yeah,
so
he just like this.
brushed you off like.
Yeah, and then well, even before that, and after the nuts comments, I saw him, and he had talked to Kathy by that point, and he spoke to me first. He said, "Did Kathy tell you that I saw her the other day?" And I said, "Yeah." She said she saw you at Goodwill. And then somebody walked in, and he didn't say anything else, but he wasn't mad that day. So,
So, what about the day that Ruth and Bobby and you were at the table?
oh, and he was flirting with them, something terrible. And when he had to look from side to side to see one and then the other. I was in the middle. He would look down. He wouldn't even look at me. He would turn around.
So what do you think has happened?
I don't know. What do you think?
You know I don't think highly of him, so.
Well, I don't take up for him. Anything he does, I say it. But he has been very good to me, too.
Like, what are some examples of that?
When I wasn't eating after Bob died, he would bring me Mexican, and he always would just put it in the refrigerator, or he would call and he would say, "Et, have you et?" And he would bring me food.
Have you et?
That was just making fun of the people here. That's what he was doing.
Oh, okay. Is that what people say here? Et?
The real old people do, like my grandma.
Et. Have you et?
Yeah,
Okay.
I ate a whole bunch of potatoes, and I ate 2 eggs, and I ate anyway. And he would bring me little gifts, and like I had trouble opening bottles, he brought me a bottle opener. He brought me a brush. He did my dishes. Every time when he had a dirty glass, he would wash it. If I had dishes, he would do them. And I would say, "Don, leave them alone. I can do my dishes." He'd say, "Okay," but he'd just keep right on doing them. And once I said, "I don't want you doing my dishes." And he said, "Well, I don't do much that I don't want to do."
Aw, that's sappy.
So he was very...
And what about that thing he brought you and you broke?
Oh, first thing he ever brought me was a little, because I had a lot of little stuff, change, and I don't know what all, just laying around. And he said, "I brought you this. It's just a little catch-all, and you can put all your little stuff in it." Well, I set it down on the table. I turned around in my wheelchair, and I didn't judge it right. I knocked the table over and broke it, and had everything scattered everywhere. But he helped me pick it up, and I kept apologizing. And he said, "Hush, Faye."
Not Fago?
Not then, no.
So when did you get to be Fago?
I don't know. Sure. I mean, sometime after that, I don't know.
Do you know why he called you that?
I don't know.
And some of the things you all used to do and watch, and
We watched Bob Marley. He started out watching Aretha Franklin. Then he went to Bob Marley. Then he started watching, Southern Rock. Like Hank Jr. and all them. That's Southern Rock, right?
yeah.
And there was somebody from the Ukraine, a group that was called
There you go, Matt.
Wise Guys. It was WISCGUYS. And he watched them for a long, long time. Then he started watching pool and poker. And he watched documentaries all the time.
And bring you books to read.
He brought me books to read. Then he would call and, "Did you read this yet?" And we would discuss books. And
Did you like the books?
No. I didn't like to read, but I did read a couple of them. But I'd look in Google, and I'd get the main thing. And then if he asked me something I didn't know, I'd say, "Well, I probably need to reread that, because I didn't remember that." But I never did like to read.
And what did he tell you about learning and your age and all of that?
You're 75 years old. You don't want to go to your grave being a sheepy and just believe everything that people tell you. And I'd say, "What does the Bible say about so-and-so?" You can read. You've got a Bible up there. Read it. Decide for yourself. And he would tell me how it was a fairy tale and all of this kinds of stuff. But he didn't try to change my mind. He would just tell me that I didn't think for myself and that.
So, what's the best part about this break from each other?
Well, he don't have an open door anymore where he can just, I mean, I didn't know when he was coming, didn't know when he was leaving. If he wanted to stay till 4 o'clock in the morning, he did. And he'd come early, or he'd come in the middle of the day, or he'd come. So you had to time a shower or anything because you didn't want him to catch you in the shower.
So, what's the worst part of it?
The worst part is I miss him because he would just dance to that rock music and sing. We can't sing much, but he would always go out singing, and he didn't say tomorrow. He'd say, Tamari, Tamari, I love you, Tamari. Every night he would say that.
And the baby face mask, how did that come to be?
That come to be because he don't believe in having babies, because the world is overpopulated, and that's going to be the end of the world in a few days, or a few years, or soon, because we're running out of water, and without water we can't survive. And he would say, I've got baby fever. So he just found this, it's just a cardboard crying baby. And he had it on it's a mask. And he put it on, and I heard, oh, baby crying at the door. I mean, really, really. And it was him. I thought then, well, it's got batteries in it, but it didn't. It's just a cardboard mask, and he was doing the crying.
And what's the part you wanted to tell Matt about the Goodwill worker or whatever? And the sugar daddy?
Oh, she was 40-something years old, and she wants a baby. So she started flirting with Don because she wanted him to be her baby daddy. She don't know that he hates kids. I don't think he hates kids. He hates people that have kids when they can't support them. And then he said they'll harp about buying a lottery ticket or gambling. And he said, say you gamble all the time having a baby. You don't know if you're going to have a sick one or that's a gamble. But they will talk about you for buying a lottery ticket, spending $1.